It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely! I'm almost there! Random! Why are there so many stairs? Podcast! Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the absolutely completely random podcast for Saturday, August 27th, 2022. I'm your host, Andrew Rhodes, as always, here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. You know, the channel that may or may not flicker out of existence if Thanos snaps his fingers hard enough. Yeah, that channel. Anyway, what am I talking about this week? Well, believe it or not, there's a lot to unpack this week, and none of it's good, but there's a lot to unpack this week. So Mark Zuckerberg has responded to the backlash over the graphics promises. Metaverse won't be depressing to look at. Now, it's just depressing to think about, but that's a whole story in itself. There's been a fake Batman Arkham game taking over the fandom, and it's finally being explained. This is huge news for all the Sailor Moon fans out there. Oh, good lord, this is bad. There is apparently a live-action Sailor Moon pilot episode released in the 90s, and it's now seen the light of day again. And in all honesty, I think it would have been better off if it stayed dead. To be completely honest with you, it would have been better. And, you know, it's always sad when you have something that is very vintage, very old, and then all of a sudden, the unboxing of it just goes completely and totally wrong. Well, that happened, sadly, for 2 packs of very old Nintendo cards. But I will explain that. All that and much more this week on the absolutely completely random podcast. But of course, you know the song and dance by now. I'm sure you do. Sing along if you know the words. If you're looking for oddities, weird stuff, collectibles, DVDs, etc., check out my eBay page, ARHOADS-2012, over on eBay. A wide variety of stuff for sale. One person's trash is always another person's treasure on the worldwide flea market that is eBay. I mean, where else could you possibly find Kleenexes that were used by Dr. Dre and Shatner's old toupees, Farrah Fawcett posters? Hell, Weird Al did an entire song about eBay, and that just tells you the tip of the iceberg of what is on eBay. But yes, go check out eBay. That's, well, go check out eBay. You know that's ebay.com. But hey, while you're over there, check out my eBay page, ARHOADS-2012, over on eBay. I also have an Etsy shop where I sell some digital products, like digital planners, digital journals, printable calendars, printable birthday cards, printable invites. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff you can get, instant downloads, so you don't have to worry about me shipping you something. And yay, it's always fun. Still working on getting sale number 1, though, as of right now, but it's always fun. So go check that out. It's Simple Design by Andrew. There's a link in the description. Go check that out. It's worth your time and effort, I guarantee. There's a lot of cool stuff I've done over there. There's even some Canva templates if you're looking to try to next level your job hunting experience. You know, like I have to. But I'm not going to use my own template, so I already have a resume fixed up. I just had to change a couple things. But hey, you never know. You might want your resume to stand out a little more. I got some resume templates. I have some wedding invite templates. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff over on my Etsy shop, Simple Design by Andrew. Because it's simple designs for the complex world. Don't forget to follow us over on the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. You can also check me out over on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. There is that t-shirt thingy that I have mentioned multiple times, so you can go check that out too. There's a link in the description for that. As well as, what am I missing here? Oh yes, we also have Patreon and Ko-fi. That's right, if you want to help support the channel, we have a Patreon page, and we also have a Ko-fi page if you want to help support the channel. You know, all comes to help support me, too, because this channel is what I'm doing at this point. But hey, come on, check it out. You got eBay, Etsy, Patreon, Ko-fi. There's plenty of ways you could try to make money here on YouTube without ad monetization, because I'm never going to reach the 1,000 subscribers or the 4,000 watch hours. So there's always plan B, C, D, and E. Ironically in that, not even ironically in that order either. Yes, but come on, check out those things. We got eBay, ARHOADS-2012 over on eBay. You have the Etsy shop, symbol designed by Andrew. You have, of course, Patreon, and you have Ko-fi. So there's plenty of ways to help support the channel. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell for when new videos drop right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Alright, so this is the point where we go about, how'd your week go, Andrew? Yeah. Wow, this is just, yeah. See, I like doing this segment because this gives, like, a bit of an insight so that in case something does happen, you can just say, oh, well, this just came out of nowhere. This came out of the blue. No, it didn't come out of the blue. I was talking about it. I kind of gave a forewarning of it. I gave a hint that something bad's coming. I don't know, but yeah, my week's been weird, to say the least. It's been very weird. You get family members that aren't feeling very well. So you got some family members that are under the weather, some family members that are sick. We got some issues going on in the neighborhood. Still trying to find a job, trying to get my Etsy shop off the ground. I would really love for that to get off the ground since it's just digital items. I don't have to ship anything out via Etsy, so that's literally profit for me. Minus Etsy's fee and that, it's profit, which would be really nice. But I'm having, for some reason, I cannot get one sale on there, and it is starting to drive me batty. I have adjusted the SEO, the keywords, I have adjusted the titles, I have tried to fix some of the pictures on it, but it's digital items. I don't exactly see how many pictures I can add on this that are going to make a... I'm going to say this. I don't know how many pictures I can add on here that's going to make a shit bit of difference as to you're going to buy this or not. And I have watched several YouTube videos, and it's like, oh, well, you need to do this, this, and this, and if you have this many pictures and you have them like this. So I tried that for a couple of them, and it's not doing anything. Because, of course, it's not doing anything. I'm literally looking at this like, well, this will work. No, it's not working out. It's not. No, because nobody's going to just up and buy this and think, oh, well, this is perfect. You know, this is just what I need. And it's like, no, I don't want this. And that's honestly what I think's going on, or it's just that my designs suck. In which case, yeah, there's a blow to my self-esteem that I really needed. But, I mean, I'm going to have to come to accept that blow at some point. I mean, I know I'm not the world's best at designing stuff. I've gotten that well established at this point, that I suck at designing things. But, yeah, so that's been my week. I tracked down a bunch of my old trading cards I can finally work on getting up on eBay, like my old Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. I do have some of the old Japanese ones that I got from a friend of mine to put up to sell. And then we had some technical issues, so I didn't get them up for a while. But, yay, those are going to go up, so that's going to be fun. I'm actually looking forward to that because there's a very rare... it's now censored Misty card. It's a banned card, and I have 3 of them. And I have 3 of them. And I'm looking forward to that. It's the Leaders Stadium Misty's Tears, the one where she's kind of like naked. I got 3 of those. I got 3 of those. And I remember as I was looking for those like the last week, I've been searching for those around, and I'm like, okay, I have these somewhere. They're in my room somewhere. Where the hell did I put them? And I'm trying to remember where I stuck the rest of my trading cards. I'm like, wait a minute, I had other cards in here. It's like I had some Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a baggie. I had some other Pokemon cards with these. And I just could not figure out where the hell I put them. But now I finally do. Sorry about that. I kind of had a little hangnail I finally bit off that didn't bleed open like my other one did. So that's actually a good thing for once. But yeah, so that's been my week. It's just one thing after another. Weather-wise, it's been nice. Entertainment-wise, man, not so much. It's just been tiring. I will say that, tiring. And we're getting to the end of August, and it's just going to get... I can feel it getting worse in September. I can just feel it from here. But, yeah, this is just... yeah, this is just bad. I feel this not ending very well, to be honest with you. But, yeah, it's just... yeah, I don't see this ending completely well in the grand scheme of things. Not to mention the low scheme of things, I just don't see this ending too well. But, yay, there's always that fun, nagging feeling in the back of your mind that no matter what you do, you still suck. So, yay. It's so good to have that feeling back. Yay. But yeah, that's been my week in a nutshell. It's just been boring, dull, and massively stressful to a point. So that has literally just been my week. But let me know how your weeks went in the comment section below. You know, I'd actually like to know how your weeks went. I miss that. Nobody tells me how their weeks went anymore. It's like, you know, what'd you do this week? I know a lot of people are starting to go back to school, so, you know, is that fun? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? But, yeah, let's dive into the podcast, shall we? It's going to be a good one. Alright, so let's talk about the Metaverse here. First off, I hate this when I log into Facebook. And yes, I still have a Facebook account. I mean, I have the Web Designer 18 one, and I also have one now for my Etsy shop, too. But I kind of hate that when you log in and it goes Meta. I'm like, okay, so it's Meta, who cares? And apparently there was a, I guess it was like a game or something. Yeah. So, this did not go well. Which makes perfect sense, because nothing Facebook does ever goes to plan. Everything either goes horribly wrong or horribly wrong. I don't think they have ever had one instance when something has gone the way they wanted it to right off the bat. And you can look at their, let me rephrase it. I think only one thing did, and that was when they released stock to the general public. When they went on the stock exchange. I think that was about the only thing that went to plan. Everything else kind of was half-assed and like, nope, this didn't work out the way we envisioned. Oh, this didn't work out the way we envisioned. Hey, this didn't work out the way we envisioned either, because nothing ever does. But earlier this week, though, and this article came out on the 19th, so that would have been last week. So, yeah, so last week. Because my birthday was last Thursday. So, yes, last week. So, earlier last week... It was an interesting topic. I still wanted to talk about it either way. So earlier last week was supposed to be a celebratory time for the folks at Meta. You know, money was supposed to be raining everywhere. The hookers, the strippers, all that fun stuff was supposed to be coming out of cakes. And everybody was going to be partying. It was going to look like a game studio in the 90s. That's about the best way. That's about the best way I could describe it. You ever see The Social Network? It's going to be like what they were... doing when they hit 1 billion users or 1 million users. They were just like losing their shit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Anyway, as if there's not any more weird shit to this, but there always is. Yep. Its reality-devouring project, Horizon Worlds, was now available in more countries. The occasion was marked by Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. You know, when he's not busy taking selfies in front of a mirror and trying his damnedest to be the next Bill Gates, and at the same time Steve Jobs and I guess whatever other influential people he wants to be in his messed up little mind. Because I have no, just in case you're wondering, no, I have no respect for the goddamn man. I really don't. Sorry, I have no respect for him. I've seen The Social Network. I have no respect for you. I'm sorry. They found Jesse Eisenberg was the perfect person to play you in that. I'm sorry. He really was. Yes, the occasion was marked by his appearance. He's posting a selfie of his in-game avatar in front of a digital Eiffel Tower. Ooh. Well, that's just wonderful. Thank you. We wanted to see a digital you selfie. Way to go. It sounds cute, right? No, not particularly. But the problem was that the graphics basically sucked. They were comparing it to games like Roblox and like really low-rend games from the 90s. Not like what they were expecting. Not from a multi-billion-dollar company's efforts to shape our collective virtual future. Which, didn't I make this comment, like, a couple podcasts ago? If you really want to make a fucking metaverse, and you want to make this online AI reality, sort of like Ready Player One's Oasis, or The World in Dot Hack Sign, or SAO in SAO, like, you know, Aincrad in that in SAO, or, you know, Oz in Summer Wars, you have to have avatars. if you can't make them look... with Real Engine 5 right now, which is what really bothers the hell out of me, they can't make, like, realistic-looking people. You have Real Engine fucking 5. And for those of you out there wondering, you can actually download that. The company that made that program allows it to be downloaded by the public. But if you make anything and you sell what you made for money, like if you make a game or something, you need to give credit to them, and it's like there's like a contract thing with it. But in all honesty, I mean, if you make something for like shits and giggles, they're not going to come after you or anything. You literally put down, hey, look, this is made for shits and giggles. Like, there was a person that made what a Mario game would look like in Real Engine 5. They're not selling it. It's just like, here's just, you know, what it could look like if somebody actually sat down and made this in Real Engine 5. It's not, you know, it's not a logistic, like, I'm selling this for money. No, it's just a literal video of me walking along a path with blocks over my head. So, why not take... in all honesty here, the avatar creator from Real Engine 5 and integrate this into your system, which I don't understand how in the hell you're not getting this. Hell, even the freaking Mii's, if you really wanted to do something similar, just talk to Nintendo. I'm pretty sure they would give you the source code for the Mii's from the Wii system, and you could just do that. Like, here's a base level, and then you want more advanced, boom, here's Real Engine 5. Now you really look like your in-game avatar. Now you look like your avatar to explore the metaverse. Oh, you really want to go this route? Let's go this route. But yeah, that's just, you know, what it is. It's annoying, I will say that. It is annoying that... and this is the way that I see it, and I want to stress this. You want to have a virtual reality similar to all these ones in science fiction, yet you are missing the point of it entirely. When you create a virtual reality, you're creating it one of two ways. And first off, there was already a game called Second Life that was pretty much already doing this in the form of, hey, here's a game that allows you to own a business, own a house, and everything else in the virtual world that you need to pay real money for. At this point, oh, here's Zuckerberg's idea, and you're basically using Disney bucks at Caesar's Palace. It just makes no fucking sense. If you want to do this, okay, if you want to make a virtual online world, I'm going to soon do a discussion video on this, because this is really pissing me off. Screw it, it'll probably be a rant video, just a simple one. But it's very easy to do this. Use either Real Engine 5. Hell, even go back one, use Real Engine 4. I guarantee you, if they do that, they probably won't come after you for money then. And the graphics would be just as good for what you're trying to do. Probably actually a little more low-end, so you'd be able to get more people and wouldn't overload their systems. And create a base avatar and then allow them to customize it. Then when they customize it, that's their avatar. Hell, The Sims even have this down to a fucking T. Come on. If The Sims can do this, if The Sims can make avatars that look presentable, this is bullshit upon bullshit. And you want to have this be like this interactive world where you can sit and learn stuff by having this little headset on. Hey, look, I'm all for this because this could be like a revolutionary to the future. Of course, there was that movie that Bruce Willis was in. I can't think of the name of it. Where he was a cop and he had this robot version of himself that he controlled from a chair that he used in his own house. His wife had one too, but his robot got destroyed, so then he actually had to get out of the chair and actually interact with the world again. And his wife's like, "Well, you're off. You're off? Why? No, you can't go out there in reality. It'll kill you. It's too bad." He didn't care. Let's just fucking get that. But, I mean, that's the direction that we're headed. Hey, more power to it. We can work out a lot of the bugs. Science fiction has showed us, here's where errors A through Z are. Let's repair these before we actually create this damn thing in reality. Here's what A, B, C, D, and E are the major errors, and then the rest of them are minor, minute bugs that could become major errors. Let's fix this shit and get this right. But, of course, no. Let's just keep doing this and fucking it up. So, yeah. The internet, though, immediately roasted Zuckerberg's sorry ass and his sorry selfie to hell and back, and with good reason, too. Now he's on damage control. Oh, Poor baby. Posting over on Instagram because he loves Instagram. Doesn't Facebook own Instagram at this point? I thought they owned Instagram. I thought Facebook and Instagram were like this. I thought they were simpatico, like they were in bed, they were butt buddies together. So I thought that's what I thought Facebook and Instagram. I thought they were butt buddies. I guess not. I guess not. Maybe not. Posting over on Instagram for those who scrolled through enough recommended posts to see it or just didn't fucking care. It's entirely new virtual rendition of Zuckerberg. I'm happy to report does appear to contain more life essence than the last one. I have a picture of it up here. So the first one does kind of look like a Sims version, like a lifeless doll, like I will take your soul. The next one kind of looks like something from, I want to say, Sid Meier's Civilization on a computer. Hi, friendly traveler. Or something from Skyrim, in a way, or just it looks more 2010-ish. Let's go with that, like 2010, 2012-ish. Again, if you want to do this, you want to make realistic-looking avatars, you goddamn fuck. Just talk to the people that made Real Engine. Jesus Christ, just go. You're a fucking business person. I guarantee you. Mention the words exposure and uniqueness. Ask them for like this. Not even the curve, just go the version past, like just one version back, version 4, and I guarantee you, they'll be like, oh, hell, go for it, man. This would be great. You can integrate Real Engine into this. Oh my god, this would be beautiful. We'd love to see this. I don't think they would argue this, because why do you think they designed Real Engine in the first place? To make games more realistic. You're trying to create an online virtual experience where everybody can look like themselves, although in all honesty, I would rather have the fact where it's a virtual reality. You know, if we don't want to look like ourselves, let us not look like ourselves. Give us that option too. But here's the news flash, and I want to stress this point, okay? Here's the big one. Sorry about that. It's not that difficult to talk business with businesses. Sorry, I had some drool went down the wrong pipe there. It's not that difficult to talk business over business. Hey, look, I want to make the metaverse. You have a system that allows for realistic-looking people. We'd like to figure out a way to make it customizable. We don't want to use the current version. We want to use version 4. That way, you know, in case version 5 isn't compatible with a lot of people, version 4, we know all the bugs in that are worked out, and we can integrate that, and we can, you know, retweak it and reconfigure it a little bit to make it so that everybody can use it and it won't crash anybody's systems. What do you say? I don't think they're gonna say no. I really don't think they're gonna fucking say no, but of course Zuckerberg does not think 4 steps ahead, he thinks 8 steps behind. Go figure, you jackass. But, yay! Alright, so, this is where it gets sad, though. Well, this one has more life essence than the last one. It's unclear how many souls had to be sacrificed in order to give Mark a small glint in his eye. My guess would be 1,000 souls. That seems to be the going price. That seems to be the going price. For those keeping count, though, this is the 4th or 5th VR version of Zuckerberg that we've gotten so far. Because the man is just... He has an Oedipus... Oh, no, I don't even want to say an Oedipus. What was that god that loved himself? Hold on. What was the name of the god that loved himself? I don't remember. It's a god that loved himself. Narcissus. He's got a narcissist. He's a narcissist. That's it. Now I remember. Narcissus. It's a figure from Greek mythology who was impossibly handsome, that he fell in love with his own image reflected in a pool of water. That's it. He said narcissism. That's it. He's a narcissist. I couldn't think of the word. I'm sorry, I could not think of the word. I don't use it all the time in general. I don't use it all the time in general conversations. No, he's got narcissism. Okay, he's a narcissist. So it makes sense. Hey, we're gonna get like all these though. The shitty one though that you saw came after he showed a really nice one a few years back, which is to say, don't assume that you're seeing the above is gonna be permanent though. As much as the posts accompanying the new selfies, as a VR service is always evolving. Just fucking use Real Engine and get it over with. So major updates to Horizon and the avatars coming soon. He'll share more at Connect. He's got a photo posted earlier. This is courtesy of Zuckerberg's little bullshit here. Yeah, I could care less about how your avatar looks, you jackass. I really don't care. It looks so realistic. It looks just like me. Now, let's see. Dried up, soulless, assholeless. Yeah, it looks just like you. Yeah, it looks like a little prick. It's true, though, the screenshots of Horizon Worlds don't always look as bad as what Zuckerberg shared earlier in the week, though. But, yes, that's also a major part of what made it so baffling. Why is that? Well, the company's leader is showing off. Well, at the same time, Horizon Worlds still doesn't look nearly as good as what you'd find in other VR offerings. Because, of course, they're taking everybody's hand-me-downs and not actually trying to do something themselves. So, again, that's nothing new. Go freaking figure. You know, yay! Because, once again, Zuckerberg just doesn't care. So, with many say it's hard about making MetaQuest hardware, which is priced for the average consumer, which not anymore because they had to up the damn price on it. So, yay! Capitalism. Always fun when you have to raise prices. Can handle tons of people at once. Bullshit. But there's performance and then there's artistry. The thing that everyone was responding to was what appeared to be bleak lack of soul. We all know it doesn't take a huge polygon count to make something look good. Hell, you can make a 2D animated character have a fucking soul just by adding a small glint to their eye. You can easily make a me character with a small glint in their eye and they have a soul now. It's not that difficult to do. Somehow, though, for Zuckerberg, it must be. Yay! Yeah, but the Eiffel Tower, though, is supposed to be a significant cultural artifact, but you wouldn't glean that from the VR version at all. The digital version isn't inspirational unless we're trying to invoke a burp or, you know, trying not to dry heave. It's particularly pretty. No, not even. So what was the point of it? It's to show how big Zuckerberg's cock is, I guess. It's a phallus symbol that he wants to show off. I don't know. I mean, come on. You're showing us, like, giant stone columns. And then yourself in front of the giant stone columns. It's like, yeah, and then you have the old picture of you and then the Eiffel Tower. It's like, yay, what's this? This is how big it is! No, it's not! And it's basically spanking your own monkey and hoping that people aren't going to notice. It's like that old joke, if you ever saw DBZA, then the Namek Saga, when Vegeta made the comment, you know what? You all had better duck, because I'm about to turn left, and I don't want to smack you with my dick. And in this case, that's Zuckerberg. Hey, you guys had better duck, because I'm about to turn left, and I don't want to smack you with my dick. I don't want to damage the merchandise here. That's basically what it feels like. Meta, though, as a company, leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths already, so seeing them strong-arm their way into the VR dominance with an endless oodles of cash, while appearing to have little care for the spirit of the thing, as opposed to our exciting technological future, yep, that's what's making people jump when Pastel Zuck doesn't blink. Yeah. So, basically, yes, when you're just chucking money at the problem to make it go away, you're not actually fixing the problem. Any idiot can solve a problem with money. It takes a genius to solve a problem with nothing. It's like, oh, we're going to strong-arm our way into this. I'm going to say this right now for anybody out there that wants to create a virtual reality system, okay? If you want to create a VR world like this is what you need to do. Real Engine 4. Talk to the Real Engine people. I guarantee you they will be on board for this. I cannot see why they wouldn't be. Have them fix up a way to customize your character. They would be on board with this. I guarantee it. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Get yourself a server. It's not that difficult to find some. You can even make your own. There's DIY videos on how to do that. You can get a whole bunch of hard drives and stuff like that and make your own little server farm. Yes, you'll have to charge people money, but in the long run, if you can get ads and other businesses involved, you can cut down the cost on that tremendously. Make the characters lifelike. If you're already using Real Engine 4, it'll work, but allow the ability to make so that, hey, look, I don't want to be me. Let's make this version of me like more muscular or, you know, like less dorky looking. I want to look more handsome. It's virtual reality. If you want it to look like you in virtual reality, it's not virtual reality. That's just called reality. You want to escape reality to be a different you in virtual world. It makes fucking sense. Come on, people. It's ABC here. But yes, this is what happens. Okay? This is what happens when you give rich boy too much money, and then you look at him and you say, hey, we're going to give you more money. And then you just keep flinging money at him. And he just keeps flinging money at a problem, hoping it'll go away. Because guess what? You know what's going to happen? It's not going to go away. And all it's going to do is piss people off. But it's not going to go away. Not in the least is it going to go away. So, I am not a fan of Batman. Now, to be fair, when I was a kid, yes, I did watch Batman the Animated Series. Because it was on Fox, and I was a kid, and I liked cartoons. Yes, I also watched Iron Man. However, that was on, I think at the time it was UPN, which is what, well, it was Channel 14 for me, so that was always UPN with our cable. So that wasn't always available because they only ever had cartoons on like early in the morning from like 7 to 9 or 6 to 8. So it wasn't always, hey, I can watch it over here. So, yes, I have watched Batman. I am still not the world's biggest fan of Batman, though. But I will admit that the Arkham games were freaking good. I did play the one demo at a GameStop. I thought it was kind of interesting. I have watched the gameplay of them. I thought they were pretty good. I will not lie about that. That isn't what you call open world beauty. It is a chef's kiss of just wonderful graphics, gameplay, and everything else. It's beautiful. Now, there's apparently a fake one that's been taking over the Batman Arkham fandom, and it's finally getting fucking explained. So thank God for that. We're finally getting an explanation for this. So the best video games are imaginary. They often exist completely in our heads, or in the dreamy space between their initial announcement and what we finally end up playing. A perfect example of this would be most of the shitty games that we've ever played in our lives that sounded so good before we actually got the hands on the controllers. For me, there's quite a few. I'm thinking Zone of the Enders. I'm instantly getting a Zone of the Enders vibe. I thought this game was going to be so fun from the title and the box art and the premise on the back. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so cool. It's robots, it's space, I can control the robot. Oh, this is going to be fun. I could have basically beaten that in one sitting. I spread it out over 2 days, but to be fair, I could have beaten that in one sitting. I could have beaten that in one night. In like under 3 hours. Makes sense then why GameStop only had it for like $3. So, not exactly a love lost there. Still sucked, but the second one was like $20, and I couldn't find a copy for the longest fucking time, so that sucked too. But yes. But this is where Arkham World exists. Born from a 2011 Video Game Awards gag, the completely fictitious entry in the massive popular Arkham series is now all some fans can talk about. Now, to be fair, it's funny. I actually do remember the joke. It is funny. Earlier this month, though, a post about a supposed Arkham World game began taking over the Batman Arkham subreddit. Despite being dedicated to an aging single-player series, the particular internet watering hole remains surprisingly vibrant. Yes, people always want to go and drink in that nostalgia. They always do. It has over 150,000 members, with hundreds or more active at any given time. This subreddit is dedicated to the discussion of all Batman Arkham lore, reads the subscription. Yay! Including the Rocksteady trilogy, Arkham Origins, and all the tie-in games and comics, including the newest edition, Arkham World. Arkham World isn't real, but that didn't stop the subreddit from celebrating the one-year anniversary of its launch on August 2nd. I love the open world in this game the most. I love the open world in this game the most because it was a literal world. A Reddit user wrote. I am not even about to try. Is it Frozen? Oh, okay. It's Frozen in Ice 248. A world full of criminals and insane people, and updated gameplay from Arkham Knight makes the game the best superhero game of all time. Yeah, okay. Dozens of other commenters, though, responded with their own critical takes, sharing their favorite moments and the biggest surprises. Quote, dude, I am currently high at a Rob Zombie concert, and I'm 90% sure that this game isn't real, and I'm scared to know if it is. Read one comment buried deep among the critical praise. Okay, so the critical praise is going on here, and you have a stoner that's like, dude, I am, like, baked. I am baked at a Rob Zombie concert, which is apparently, from what I've been told, the only way you can enjoy a Rob Zombie concert. You got to be baked. I am baked at a Rob Zombie concert, and I am 90% sure that this game isn't real. But there's 10% of me that's sober and not high and thinks it's real. But the 90% of me that's baked out of my gourd right now, that I am floating on, I am floating on yellow puffy clouds. I am certain this game isn't real, but the 10% of me is thinking it's real, and it's scaring me. Dude, I don't want to come down on this high. I love that. Yeah. The 1 year anniversary, though, is just the start of the Arkham World's week-long tribute. Yay! Oh, yay. This is funny. So, lore around it since has expanded to include a special mission. Dun dun. Yeah, no, seriously, it's really funny. Where you play as Alfred, a crossover with Spider-Man, and even a Darth Vader boss fight. Okay, so we know we're already stretching far into shit that we don't own the rights for. Like, Spider-Man, that's Sony. Darth Vader, that's Disney. We do not own the rights for that shit. So yeah, we are well aware that this is pure fandom, folks. Pure fandom. Yeah. Players from the Spider-Man community have even joined in, treating the crossover as canon. Oh, God. Reddit is full of shitposting, but it's still rare to see fans rally so aggressively around a bit and maintain it for weeks. So why go to all the trouble to manifest a game that never existed? Well, here's why. Frozen in Ice 248 told Kotaku in a Reddit chat that they stole the idea from the Titanfall community, where pretending that Titanfall 3 already exists is an ongoing part of the subculture. No, that's what you call coping. It's coping. We want it to exist. We're upset that it doesn't exist, but we're coping with the fact that it exists. So this is how we're doing it. We're coping. We're saying it exists so that it exists. Yeah, I don't think so. The name Arkham World, meanwhile, was an obvious choice since it was a code name teased by the Joker in a cutscene created by Rocksteady for him to claim the Best Character Award at the 2011 VGAs, which you can actually see the entire speech right here. There is a video for it. It's really funny, too. I do remember it. The eventual game that was released was Arkham Knight, leaving Arkham World free to fill the void in players' imaginations when they had no actual Batman game to look forward to in the near future, because there was only 3 games, and once you had the 3 games, that was it. In the forthcoming game, Gotham Knights, made by Warner Brothers Montreal, Warner Brothers Montreal, the studio behind Arkham Origins, Batman is already dead. It's also not technically part of the Arkhamverse. Rocksteady's next project, Suicide Squad, is set in the same world as the Arkham games, but Batman hasn't been revealed to be part of it. And it's a shooter rather than a stealth brawler, which is what the Arkham series was. Suicide Squad is set in the same universe, but it's not centered around Batman at all. We don't know if he's going to appear at all. Reddit user BigSexy17 told Kotaku, Arkham games and Arkham fans in general gravitated towards the series because of Batman. Batman fans all around the world praise and worship these games as the true Batman experience. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like, you were playing as Batman in the Arkham games. It did seem like that. But now, Unleashed, though, Arkham World has taken on a life of its own. It's become sentient. It's like Skynet. It knows. It knows! You have this entire group of people claiming that you're talking about a game that doesn't exist. Unhappy Worker 77 commented. Reddit user LukeDBZ2 compared it to the fascination with the Morbius meme. It's Morbin time. Oh, can we please let that die? Apparently not. From earlier in the summer. It was dumb, wonderful, and became so popular it may or may not have convinced Sony to set millions of dollars on fire, bringing Morbius back to theaters. No, I think Sony was dead set to set millions of dollars on fire either way. I think they were good on that. I think they're still trying to burn off a lot of that money that they got from Disney and from the people when they pulled that little stunt with Spider-Man with Disney. I think they were like, yeah, you know, we still have to get rid of that money to show people that we don't suck. Hey, put it back in theaters for a week, see what happens. Yeah, let's see what that happens. Yeah. So we could bomb a second time, because it bombed the first time, and it's like, well, the crater wasn't big enough the first time. Let's see if we can make it larger. Okay, now we got one about the size of New Mexico. I mean, do we want to try for Australia next? Let's go for one the size of Australia. No, we're good. We're good. We took a loss on this now. We're good. We're happy now. Yeah, Morbius never said it's Morbin time, and there's not a sequel to Arkham Knight. Or is there? They said, one thing is confirmed, though, after years of no new content, the sub has become the Arkham Asylum itself. Because they're all crazy. There's more going into this, but you get the general gist of it. You know, it's basically the fans are going about this, making up boss battles for it and other stuff. Honestly, this is something that would have been nice if they would have did after the first game. I would have re-released it as Arkham World and then just had the other games be DLC for it. And I mean like full-price games as DLC. It just adds right into the game. Which would have probably been cool. It's like, look, I'm going to go back to this part of the game from the first game. I'm going to go back here and get a couple supplies, and now I'm going to head back into the other part of the game where I can kick ass and take names. I mean, it would have made sense. It would have worked to just connect everything together. But then again, for how bad the one game was on the PC, they actually had to issue refunds and then apologize out their ass. I don't see that ending well, to be completely honest with you. I don't see that ending well. But, yeah, let the fake games take over the internet. Go for it. I mean, what worse could possibly happen, right? Alright, so I was really hoping this year I would not have a Sailor Moon topic. Just 1 year without a Sailor Moon topic is all I ask. It's not that I have anything against the show or the series or anything in general. I just 1 year. And I like that when I said that, my mom's like, well, you know, you could have just, and I love this, you could have just not talked about it. Yeah, no, not this. No. This, I cannot just not talk about this. Oh, God, no. So, and there was an update to this. For those of you wondering, the YouTube channel, it's Ray Mona, has uploaded the full pilot on a separate video. So you can pull up that. Just go to her YouTube channel. It is its own separate video because, honestly, this is not worth watching the whole fucking documentary for. No. But the 90s Americanized live-action Sailor Moon pilot has finally gone public. Let the barfing begin. I'm sorry. This was cringeworthy. And then I watched it. I was already cringing at the fact that this would have been a 90s live-action adaptation. Live-action adaptations now suck. Imagine it worse in the 90s. Granted, there was some better acting in the 90s, but not by much. This, oh God. When I watched this, I could feel my brain cells die. I felt so sick to my stomach, I wanted to hurl. And I love how people were on that video praising this thing. Like, it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. It's so great. Oh, my God. I'm so happy it exists. I'm sitting here wondering, why the fuck was this even made? To be fair, it's only like 10 minutes. And I like how the one person's like, well, it's 17. If you actually watch the video where the pilot itself is up, it's like 10 minutes. So, this is a pitch pilot. What a pitch pilot is it is a pilot that, quote, does not, and I want to say this, okay? It is a pilot that does not actually get made. Okay? It is one that is specifically used to sell the series to networks to buy. And I went into this a little bit on the Q&A video. But basically, this is what it is. Okay, why did my computer just freeze on me all of a sudden? That's never a good sign when it freezes. Anyway, a pitch pilot basically, let's say I make a show. And I want to ship this show out to other networks to pick up. Jim Henson did this with The Muppet Show. Where he, basically, the creative team came up with this little Muppet. It was a business guy, and he's talking about, hey, how we're all going to be rich and famous. If we all get involved in this, we all do this show, we're all going to be rich. Beyond our wildest dreams, we'll be rich, 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 rich. So, obviously, this happened. It worked out really well. But that's what you call a pitch pilot. You're pitching your shit to go to other networks. Haim Saban did this tremendously with Power Rangers. There was the Bioman version, I think there was a Jetman one, and then there was Mighty Morphin. When the which was the Jew Ranger one. But when that one finally was greenlit, it's like, hey, fine, go, hey, this one works, we'll take this one. That one finally worked, and they're like, yeah, this will work out great, we'll take it. So, it's not a full pilot. It can't be a full pilot. Because when you pull up, and that's what I'm trying to pull up here, and all of a sudden it's... What is it with this computer today? It just freaking fucking froze on me now. What the hell? Oh, whatever. So, it can't be, because it was only like a 10-minute video, because I saw that it was up on her channel. It's only like 10 minutes long, so it can't be a full pilot, because a full TV episode for a 30-minute show, not counting commercials, is roughly 19 to 21 minutes. Okay, that's all you get film-wise, like 19 to 21 minutes, that's it. Anything more than that, it's an hour-long show. Because an hour-long show is about 42 minutes. 42 to 45 minutes is an hour-long show without commercials. Usually 43 is like the magic number they shoot for, but most of the time it's like 40, it's like 44, it's like 42 to 45 minutes. So, yeah. But this could not be the full pilot. There's no way this is the full pilot because, in all honesty, it was only 10 minutes long. The thing itself was only 10 minutes. There was no plot to it. There was no substance to this. You want to know what happened in this? If you don't have the stomach to watch this, I'll tell you. So, it starts off with a bit of backstory bullshit, which definitely leads me more into thinking this was the pitch pilot to try to pitch this show to networks to pick up to get the money to make the damn thing. Which is even scarier still. But, they basically explain about how the backstory, like, oh, well, you know, Queen Beryl is evil. She's trying to take over the universe. She needs these jewels from the princesses of the stars, and she's going to go after them to get it. Meanwhile, because Queen Serenity is so terrified that her, you know, that the kingdom and the world and basically the whole universe is going to be fucked, she decides to marry off her daughter to the Prince of the Earth and form a base on the moon to protect the entire galaxy. First off, that doesn't even make reasonable sense in any way, shape, or fucking form, but sure, we'll go with it. Meanwhile, because they're betrothed, they're having this lovey-dovey bullshit moment, and the other 4 princesses show up. Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus show up in order to be there for the wedding, which is then crashed by Beryl. The Prince of the Earth tries taking the royal family away in the space carrier with the worst acting and worst voice acting I have ever heard in my life. Oh my god, this was so horribly bad it wasn't funny, but Jesus Christ, this was bad. Oh god, was it horrible. How bad was it, you ask? Oh, it was bad. It was very, very bad. So, what exactly happened in this? So apparently they try fighting off Beryl. Unfortunately, they're unable to. The cruiser that the royal family's in is destroyed, and Sailor Moon lets out this heart-wrenching no, like she was faking it having sex. And it gets worse. And that's what I was telling my mom. She's like, she was cringy just at the freaking song, which is cringeworthy enough. But I'm like, oh, it gets worse. She's like, it gets worse? Oh, it gets worse. Oh, yeah, it gets worse. It gets way worse. So then, we're going into this. We're going further into it. And I mean further and further into it. Okay? Oh, boy. It gets worse and worse and worse. So, we're going into this. Now, the Sailor Scouts and Sailor Moon, so the other princesses and Sailor Moon herself, are now on Earth. And they are in the body of physical humans, along with this cat named Luna. A white cat, mind you, when Luna in the series was a black cat. So obviously, we just wanted to avoid the whole witch thing here, because Sabrina was, there was that Sabrina movie that sort of happened, so obviously we wanted to avoid that. Yay! Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Finally, this thing unfroze. This is why I hate Anime News Network articles. They always cause a massive slow up. But oh, Jesus Christ, this thing was bad. But then all of a sudden, the girls are preparing for this dance at this academy that they're at. Yeah, they're at like an academy. And they're preparing for this dance. They're doing this dance number, ironically, to the world's worst 90s music that you could ever imagine. And there you go. They go off, they fight evil, they get their asses kicked, and all of a sudden, Tuxedo Mask shows up. And does absolutely fucking nothing like he does in the actual series. Like, literally absolutely fucking nothing. He throws a rose down, a white rose, mind you. Throws a white rose down, and all of a sudden, Sailor Moon's like, it's a white rose. She looks up and sees this guy in this black tuxedo on these stairs. She's like, I wonder what it means. And the rose makes her pendant magically erupt. And then it becomes stripper time, where she's enveloped in this magical ribbon little twirl. And then she's able to pull off her tiara and chuck it at the villain and make them and take him out. And then the Tuxedo Mask disappears and they go back to school and it's all a daydream and I don't fucking care. Watching this pitch pilot burn my fucking brain to the ground. I can feel it shutting off. I can feel my brain just completely shutting itself down. Oh, God. I can feel it shutting down. Okay, alright, so the whole pilot episode, yes, it is 10 minutes, 18 seconds. So that is a pitch pilot. If you even count the pilot opening intro, so that'd be 12 minutes, 49 seconds. And that is a pitch pilot. That is a pitch pilot, nothing more. That's a pitch pilot. That's all. That is a pitch pilot. That is literally all it is. That's a pitch pilot. They are using that to pitch this around to other networks to hopefully, hey, we're going to, you know, hey, we're trying to pitch this to 100 other, you know, shows. We have got to try to pitch this thing just right. We got to pitch this to other networks. We need to make money off of this bitch. It doesn't work. So the full pilot, though, for the live-action Sailor Moon, or as it was known as Saban Moon TV show, conceived and scrapped in the 90s, and thank God for that, has finally made its way to the public. I would like to summon the Eternal Dragon and make it go away. Former Bandai American president Frank Ward gave permission to Lost Media documentary YouTuber Ray Mona, that is literally her name, Ray Mona, to publish the footage obtained from the Library of Congress. So obviously it's like, look, we never intended for this thing to be seen by the public anyway. It's X amount of years old. Yeah, fuck it. It's in the Library of Congress. Anybody can pull it up. No, seriously. That's the interesting thing about here in the States. And this is the fun part. If you make anything, print anything that's out for the general public that it would be on TV shows made by corporations, there's always usually a copy of it in the Library of Congress. If you look at any book, any manga, any comic book, it usually tells you that there's a copy in the Library of Congress. Because they send them a copy of that just in case something happens, then there's a copy somewhere. Plus, they have to okay this because they could go, whoa, 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 wait a minute now. This is illegal by our standards. This is just horrifying. The pilot is included near the end of the 2-part documentary series originally, but it is uploaded in its own standalone video. So go enjoy that nightmare fuel. You can start the footage at 1:43:48. Don't do the chapter selection, otherwise you will be listening to the world's worst audio ever. The idea for the Americanized, or I should say bastardized, Sailor Moon began in '93, but Bandai ultimately scrapped it in favor of an English dub based on the original animated footage by Toei Animation. Bandai, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that. You spared us. You spared us. That you get any bad things I have ever said about you, I take back 10 of them. I take back 10 of them from that alone. I take back 10 of the bad things that I've ever said about you. So, yes, this would be the one that Deke Entertainment was the Deke Entertainment dub, infamous for its own content changes and script liberties because, it was the 90s. They had to take some liberties with this stuff. The proposed American show would have blended live-action footage by Power Rangers producer Renaissance Atlantic and brand new animation by North American studio Toonmakers. The team aimed to premiere the show in 1994 on Fox, potentially in the same block as Power Rangers, which Power Rangers would have just fucking laid this thing out on its ass and said, "Stay the fuck down. These are my audience. You stay out of this." The show colloquially as Saban Moon, after Power Rangers producer Haim Saban, has a cult status among die-hard American Sailor Moon fans. A music video made from the series of cuts from the 17-minute pilot was privately shown at an event at Anime Expo, but was taped by a member of the audience and then leaked online. Only now is the footage available for public viewing in its entirety. Again, who cares? The documentary revealed that Toonmakers producers Raymond Lavovsky and Rocky Solotov and Steven Wiltzbach, sorry if I mispronounced any of those names, cast the 5 live-action stars for the show and reused sets from the American sitcom Saved by the Bell. There was no, they didn't. No, not that fucking pitch pilot. They did not air shows. They did not show shit from Saved by the Bell. Not in that fucking piece of shit. I didn't know. I have seen Saved by the Bell. Okay, when I was a kid growing up, that was on TBS. I watched it. That was on reruns on Channel 4 occasionally. I watched it. Hell, you can still watch Saved by the Bell. I'm pretty sure TBS still has the rights to air it in syndication. I think those were like lifetime rights that they scored for that, because it's just an old school show, and I think they scored lifetime rights for that, at least for X amount of years. But I think they scored the lifetime rights for that. They did not reuse shit from Saved by the fucking Bell. That is BS. That is BS, hands down. But this thing was god awful. I will say this though: the only thing that they did that I actually feel like is noteworthy, especially for when it came out. This is something that is not known to a lot of people, and I want to say this. Back in the 90s, okay, the world was not kind to paraplegics. People in wheelchairs and stuff, they were not kind to them. They were treating a lot of them like second-class citizens. And not like now, granted, they're still not, they're still kind of treated badly now, but it's not as bad as it was back in the 90s. Because when I said that to my mom, she just looked at me like, "You actually saw that in the 90s?" I said, "Oh yeah, I saw that in the 90s. They were treated like shit." She just kind of looked at me with this look on her face like, "I raised you well." Yeah, of course you did. They did have, the one Sailor Scout is in a wheelchair. I don't remember which one it was, and I don't really care to rewatch the thing to find out, but yeah, they at least gave her, it's like, "Hey, look, we have one in the show. Hey, this isn't bad." But that's not enough to win this over. The audio is cringy. The music is god-awful. The plot is non-fucking existent. If you would have sold this, if you would have tried to sell this to me and said that this was an animated Power Rangers, I would have looked at you and said, okay, show me what you got. And I would have watched this and I would have been like, well, besides the fact that you're trying to get us all arrested for jailbait, the only thing you were missing was a fucking lap dance in this. When you have an evil empress or an evil queen that is going around the galaxy trying to take these 7 magic jewels from these individuals, what don't you do? Put them all on one fucking planet. Put them all in the same area. Put them all in the same fucking place. Queen Beryl, she found us. You weren't that difficult to find. You find out that the Queen of the Moon is giving away her daughter to the Prince of the Earth in a wedding ceremony, which, by the way, that's an arranged fucking marriage there. And all you have to do is go, oh, that's where they'll all be. They're not going to miss this for the world. Perfect. I'll be able to take them all out in one fell swoop. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you what happens when stupid people take over the world. Seriously. All you need is 1 ounce of intelligence to basically prove to this, oh, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can destroy this. But yeah, there's a whole list of characters in this. I am not going to rattle off any of them. If you want to read who they are, go for it. In all honesty, if I were them, I would have not wanted my names mentioned in this. I would have wanted to distance myself from this as much as physically possible. This is bad. You want to know how bad I think this is? Do you remember back in the late 80s, early 90s? Maybe even just in the 90s. There was the CDI. It was a game system that was created. It's disc-based, and it played like a DVD player. Angry Video Game Nerd did a whole slew of videos on it. And there was a couple Zelda games for this. And when I'm watching this, I'm getting those Zelda flashbacks. And I can just imagine how bad it was for the gamers back then to play that piece of garbage. Now imagine if this would have been made. My mom said she would have turned off the she would have turned off the TV right after. Sorry, I have a bit of hiccups. She would have turned off the TV right as the music was playing. I probably would have joined her. This is bad. This was bad beyond bad. This was just god-awfully bad. You want to watch it for yourself, go for it. I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it at all. It was not good. It was not the world's greatest. It kind of made me sick to my stomach. But yeah, it happened. It existed. I don't know why it existed, but it existed. The why I'd like to know, though. I would like to know why this piece of garbage existed. But, yeah. No. No, 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 and no. I mean, you know what? I was working on this new thing I could try here for when I want to say no half a dozen times. I was thinking, no, 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 fuck you. That's what I'm thinking for this. I guarantee you, Saban was sitting in there when they showed him this. They're like, let's see what this is doing here. I'm like, all right, let's watch this. I guarantee you, at the end of that, they're probably like Al Pacino at the end of Jack and Jill. This does not ever see the light of day. Is this the only copy? You burn this. This does not ever see the light of day. What, are you serious? This never sees the light of day. This never sees the light of day. This must never get out to the public. This must never see the light of day. Just dub the animation that they have over there in Japan. Buy it and dub it. Get this the fuck out of my face. That was garbage. Horse-drawn shit. And I will stand by that till I'm blue in the face. That was horse-drawn garbage. And it exists now. So, yay! Now you can see it. And when you see it, you can never unsee it. And I like how people were like, oh, this was a good year for Lost Media. We recovered so much. It's so good that we're finally able to get this back. And I'm like, This should have never been brought back. This should have just stayed in the obscurity that it was. I'm sorry to the Sailor Moon fans out there that are going to chastise me in the comment section. This was crap. And if you try telling me there was some underlying meaning to this, I'll tell you how wrong you are. God, that was a pitch pilot, and it would not have sold me at all. That's for damn sure. So, Nintendo, long time ago, long before they got into the video game industry, used to make a whole bunch of other stuff. Mostly cards. I think they did some Hanafuda. They were a gaming company, but not video games. Well, a vintage Nintendo card pack. These were souvenir Kyoto playing cards made by Nintendo were found. 2 of them, in fact. 2 of these 70-year-old cards. 2 packs of these. However, the unboxing has ended in tragedy. Now, I'm not saying that it ended with somebody dying. Somebody's hopes and dreams, maybe. Hopes, dreams, and ambitions, definitely, but not somebody physically. So Eric Vogtskull, and I do apologize if I mispronounced that, who runs the wonderful Before Mario and has written an excellent book by the same name, has one of the world's finest collections of Nintendo stuff. I'm pretty sure he could probably beat Pat the NES Punk, but who cares? Recently, though, he managed to get a hold of something that was even special by his standards. A couple of packets of Nintendo playing cards from the 1950s depicting the company's hometown of Kyoto. Yes, you heard that correctly. Quote, I cannot overstate how excited I was to find these 70-year-old Nintendo cards featuring Kyoto in the 1950s. In all my years of collecting, these are the only copies I have come across. To put that into perspective, writing on this blog, Vogtskull adds that this is the first time he's ever seen the cards printed entirely in English, up for sale after spending more than 20 years searching for vintage Nintendo items. And there's an entire thing on the Before Mario, or at Before Mario on his Twitter. Cannot overstate how excited. Basically everything I just said, but he just put up there. There's more to come up in a blog post. Having publicly aired his hesitation over opening the packets, though, as these are valuable, if they remain closed, would retain their value, he eventually decided to bend to peer pressure and opened one of them and leave the other, since that would let him see what the cards inside actually looked like, and keeping the second set sealed. So one would still be sealed. One would still be sealed! However, this is where the story takes a sad turn. When I carefully removed part of the wrapper, I quickly discovered that all the cards had been completely fused together. They had remained pressed together for such a long time, likely under hot and humid conditions, that the ink on all cards made them stick together completely. The stacks of individual cards had turned into one solid brick. The photo prints on the cards that contained relatively large amounts of ink may have contributed to this as well. But namely, it's all gone. Now, these cards are old, so they did lack any of the plastic or laminates that we would have normally. And I can attest to this because my one friend gave me a bunch of trading cards to put up for sale on eBay. And I remember the first time I'm looking at them, like, why are these things like one solid brick? And then I'm kind of like, oh, great, these things are worthless. And I pulled one off gently, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like they were just stuck together from like from basically like being where they were. So just like, you know, move them around a little bit, and then they broke free. But there was no damage to the cards because of the laminate and everything else. These cards did not have that, so that's not good. But yeah, they're old. They are old. So that's sad. These ones were made entirely of paper, so when he says they have fused together, he means it. This is no longer a deck of cards, but an expensive block of paper. Quickly deciding to throw caution to the wind at this point, because if they're fused together, they're fucked anyway, He found the cards in the second pack had also suffered a similar fate. While someone suggested placing the packs in a freezer for some time or putting them in a sweat box used by stamp collectors, he grimly said that these packs unfortunately are beyond any of these methods and will remain fused together forever. It's a bummer, and it's really sad. What's really sad is that I don't even think Nintendo has any more of these, like, anywhere. So that's really sad. I mean, it would be really nice if somebody from Nintendo, like one of the older executives that might have known somebody that was there at Nintendo from the start, would have been like, hey, wait a minute, I know somebody that might have a couple of these, and get some, and it's like, here you go. But I don't think there are any that exist anymore. I know Nintendo probably doesn't have any more, but damn, that just sucks. The only solace to be found is that even the boxes are lovely, and that he does at least come away with one card, since one of the two decks had a sample card attached to the back of it that could be removed. So he at least got one card out of it, but he doesn't get anything else than that, which is, it sucks. That really does suck. But from the pictures that are up on here, they did look pretty cool, especially the little advertisement does look pretty interesting. But yeah, that's sad. That is just... I mean, granted, what do you expect for something that's that old to begin with? I would have been amazed if they had survived, but that's just horrifyingly sad that happens. That's horrible. But yeah, you can see more pics of the cards, learn more about just why they were so important at Before Mario, which takes you right to his blog. Yeah, this is just sad. I mean, I could feel... I could feel how bad this must be. It's horrifying, but yeah. Beyond a doubt, this is just sad. And I do feel for him, I really do, because he was probably like, this is the crowning jewel of my collection. I'm so happy I have this now. I have this really rare Nintendo item, and it's all mine. It's all mine, all mine. Only to find out that it's worthless. It's worthless now. It's worthless. I can't believe it's worthless. I can't believe that. I mean, it happens. It sucks that it happens too, but it does happen. But it does suck. I'm not going to lie about that. All in all, yeah, it's horrifying, and I feel for me. It would be like you dig up trading cards like 100 years from now, and somebody had like an entire stack of super rare, massively expensive cards that were only ever printed one time. They were never reprinted, never multiply mass-produced. And they open it up, and it's like, yep, they're complete garbage now. They're what? Yep, they're crashed. They're just destroyed. That would be heartbreaking. And yeah, it's sad. I'm not going to lie about that. It is sad, but... I mean, it could have been worse. You could have gotten swindled, and there would have been nothing in there. At least you know that they existed. You have them in your hands. It's a time capsule that just did not hold up to time. Like I said, maybe somebody at Nintendo knows somebody that used to run the Nintendo game company. Maybe there's like some old shit buried somewhere they might look at and go, hey, you know, they might come across that article, be like, hey, wait a minute. I think I've seen one of these somewhere in the office. Now all of a sudden go to like the person and go, hey, where'd you get these? Oh, there's a bunch of them down in the storeroom or something. Or it's like, oh, well, we have a couple of them left over from when we were still like board games and stuff like that. Why? Here, read this article. All right, you know, or maybe somebody from Nintendo will reach out and say, hey, you know, we actually might still have a couple of those buried in the archives from back when we were, you know, didn't do video games. There might be a couple left. We might be willing to donate them to you, so you can have a nice collection and look at it and go, look, it wasn't his fault. Time just took a baseball bat to it. There's nothing we could do about it, but sucks either way. I'm not going to lie about that. It does suck. Wholeheartedly. Alrighty, everybody, and that's going to do it then this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. I'll be back next week. You know that. I know that. We all know that. But above all else, don't forget, everybody, like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell for more videos. Don't forget to check out my Etsy shop, Simple Design by Andrew. Check out my eBay page, ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. Come and hang out with me over on Twitter at Otake Roads. Don't forget to Check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Check out my Etsy shop Facebook page. Ko-fi, Patreon, you know the song and dance. And I am checking out. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. And check out this month's Q&A video. It should be up either before or after this. Before or after I uploaded this. Either way, check it out. It'll be worth it. I'll catch you later. Bye, everybody.